Welcome to Coach Soul, the podcast where we explore therapeutic ways to the best versions of ourselves. I'm your host, Steve Hudgens. I'm a licensed professional counselor dedicated to helping you navigate life's challenges. In each uplifting episode, we'll discuss mental health, relationships, self-care, emotional well-being, and personal growth, providing you with valuable insights and actionable tips to thrive. Join me and with my co-host, Kenya Evelyn, a therapeutic life coach, where sometimes we'll even welcome special guests to our show that share their experience and expertise. Whether you're looking to improve your relationships or find greater joy, you're in the right place. So let's embark on this transformative path together and discover a healthier and happier you. All right, welcome back to Coach Soul. Kenya, it is November.
Wow.
And it's Thanksgiving, and it just seems like yesterday, the smell of turkey and pumpkin pie, family surroundings, and football. And here we are back in the season again. Do you have any traditions in your family? You come from Brazil.
Yes.
And you're in American society. And I think we've talked about this once before, but what are some traditions that you built for your family for Thanksgiving?
Oh, I love that question so much. Coach It's Soul family, I miss you. I love you. Great to be back. I love decorating. As the first thing that comes to mind is I want the cinnamon and the pumpkin spice smell around the house and the colors of fall. And it's been a little friction in my house, to be honest with you, because my daughter is obsessed with Christmas, so she wants to skip Thanksgiving. And I'm talking about the decorations. Mom, can we just go ahead and go straight for decorations of Christmas?
Right.
And I gave in on the Christmas tree. So by Thanksgiving, we will have the Christmas tree up. And everything is already fall. Like the fireplace is on, and there's fall, and there's pumpkins, and we write cards, and we leave in the table. We write cards of, I'm thankful for, me. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for my dogs. I'm thankful for being alive. I'm thankful for just really channeling the question to find as many answers as you can. Are you surrounded by gratitude or not? And when you ask the question, what can you be grateful for? Because, I have all kinds of child, right? I only have 3, but it feels like I have 30. True story. So my opposite child, he would say nothing. And I said, got it. But what if you would be grateful? What could you be grateful for? So I want to offer that because around Thanksgiving, some of us will be surrounded by family, and some would be grieving losses. And some would be recently getting divorced for different reasons, or maybe a kid is not doing well, or maybe you do have maybe you have been facing physical, emotional health challenges. And what could you be grateful for? Shifting to gratitude transforms our field into the possibility of things being well, of the divine order to be accepted as is. So I shifted to you. What could you be grateful for?
For me, it's being thankful for life. And it's being, and I say life because it's the all-encompassing of the good, bad, and ugly.
Yes.
And it's learning as we started our conversation. How do we prepare for the holidays? And it's learning how to prep yourself. One of the things that I think about is that in Psalms, I love that verse, Psalms 95:2, where David says, "Come to worship Him with thankful heart songs of praise." And when I think about that, music creates an ambiance of thankfulness. So for me, I'm thankful for, life in general. I enjoy music. But it's also, what kind of music do you play?
Correct.
Do you play the depressing, sad music or the heavy grunge? I mean, every person has their own unique taste in
Yes.
music,
Yes.
but for
And
me, it sets the
yes.
stage.
Yes. I love that you mentioned music because music can help you move through whatever feelings are coming up for you. And I
Right.
really want to encourage our listeners to be in your body and to see your thoughts as and feelings as information of not who you are, but where you have been and what is moving into your life right now.
Mm-hmm.
And let music be that bridge of intentional going. Like, I want to go from A to B, maybe not from A to Z, but you see, every inch of step shift into the direction you want, which, may I just say, for me is always more joy, more
Mm-hmm.
joy, more zest for life, more gratitude for what is. I do not need Thanksgiving. Here's the thing, dear listeners, I have cultivated a life to look for what's right. I have had friends telling me, oh, you're very much like Pollyanna. It seems like everything is good. It's like, actually, I feel my feelings very deeply. When I'm in a dark spot, I go there and I lean in and I process. And and the question that helps me to bridge the gap is, what is right about this? What am I grateful for this? What is the lesson at this? And around Thanksgiving, I can't help but to be just like you, so grateful for being alive. That's it. For whatever is happening, it doesn't matter. I am alive. I am the possibility of everything. I am the channel of God's love. I am it.
Right.
Even when I see myself that way, I use now my own voice to bring it in what I want more of, what I feel called to, what is the connection here? Music, you guys. Do you want to move through anger and you're using hip hop for it? Go ahead, but don't be unintentional and being bathed on those frequencies and then wanting yourself to be happy if you're listening songs that are stirring anger. If you
Mm.
if you want to channel yourself to receive more gratitude, to see more gratitude, there's the song that's keeping playing in my head, the Josh Groban. There's so much to be thankful for. Just Google it. It's amazing. I love that song. And then, of course, make up your own songs. Let your voice be heard.
It's to me, gratitude is the quiet echo of the heart.
Mm,
To me, it reminds us that even in the shadows, light can be found, not in what we lack, but in the beauty of what we have. And when you think about light, music is that frequency to light. I mean, your daughter's wanting to decorate, and Christmas light brings that cheer and the ambiance of being, cheerful givers. But in this month of Thanksgiving,
mm,
it's learning to have that quiet echo of the heart of gratitude, so that when our echo of the heart is there, it keeps resounding
correct.
the gratefulness. And, Kenya, I've been near death experiences.
Yes.
And one of the things that's changed me as a person is being grateful. So every November on Facebook, my friends know this, my family knows this, I do a shift, an intentional shift. Now, research has found that when you find something thankful, it's also in the same area your brain produces anxiety. So what I try to do in the month of November of Thanksgiving, I do every day for 30 days. I write on Facebook, day 1, this is what I'm thankful for. Day 2, this is what I'm thankful for. That is 30 different things that I can be grateful for. Mm-hmm. So what does it look like? Okay, November the 1st, day one. Whatever happened to me that day, I might put, or I may put something that just resonates. For example, Kenya, I'm thankful for our friendship that has really blossomed into this relationship that we can be able to share with our friends and family and Coach Soul friends. The unique dynamic of transformation that has happened to our life, that we can come out of a disparity into something that's fruition. At the same time, the secret to life is learning how to be thankful. And so, Kenya, I want you to kind of focus on this a little bit with frequency. Mm-hmm. How do we help our listeners? What are some advice or things that we can give to our listeners when they feel stuck in the mire, the tar pit of life, if you will?
Yes.
How do we help them to know that there is some light at the end of the tunnel through being grateful?
The number one thing is to shift into life. Shift into life. If you look at all the things that you're so sad about, depressed about, angry about, frustrated about, you're going to find more things to be frustrated about and angry about. And it could be that you're just like me, that you're not American, and you're grateful that you know English. You're grateful that you have a pen and paper. You don't need to be grateful for something exoteric, beautiful, huge. Find the littlest thing. Okay, so I found this on a sale. It's so beautiful. And it just makes me happy to keep it around because I love beautiful things. And to your point, it reflects the light. So, yeah, shift into light and shift into authenticity. Listen, to say, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm grateful, grateful, and being exhausted inside of you, feeling lonely, sad, anxious, it will not shift you because you're not being honest with yourself. Take a breath.
Right.
I want you to understand what I just said. I'm asking you to take a chance and find something that authentically you can be happy about, grateful about, feeling successful about. Can I tell you what haunts me around this time of year? It's pretty close to my birthday. It's 2 months to my birthday. And when I'm approaching the last quarter to my birthday, I'm start thinking all the things I wanted to create and I haven't yet. And how my kids are doing and I wanted them to be doing something. Blah, 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 blah. So I have all those tricky voices of the should've, would've. And here's the thing, dear listeners. For you to not have those voices, you need to put your human card in the dirt. In other words, you need to be dead. It doesn't matter the amount of personal development and energy killing and a relationship with God and a relationship with my husband and myself and my kids. I will always have the thoughts, but they are not charging me with truth. It's like birds flying over my head. So if I catch the bird and I bring it to him, he's like, you're right, thoughts. I really haven't released my CD yet. I really haven't blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Then I'm depressed. Literally within 20 seconds, I'm down with a tear because I took the frequency as a thought and I have embodied as truth. On a frequency level, everything is frequency. So if you say, Kenny, you don't understand, I really have nothing to be grateful for right now. I have 2 weeks to live or whatever. You could be in a really special, unfortunate situation. But if you're still breathing and you just heard this, you can be grateful that you can hear. What could you pick up that is authentic, that becomes your truth right now to make it bigger? Because all you need, all God needs, all we need, all I need is one crack of light if you crack just a little bit in the right direction, that's all light needs to take over.
You know, it's funny you say that, because this is when it hits to be winter, I'm impacted by the weather.
Mm.
And I know when I hit 14 days of no sun, I am so itchy, ready to go to California, Florida, somewhere where it's sunny. I need to be up in an airplane to get that light going. And so when I think about that, it's shifting from scarcity to thankfulness, is being able to change the lens through which we view our lives, so that we become in the moment of appreciation, so that we discover abundance that's woven into the fabric of our existence. And so oftentimes it's, how do we shift? And we talk about shifting like people already know how to shift.
Mm-hmm.
But that shifting is like shifting out of that 14 days of just cloudiness, changing my lens to something that's visible to gain the light in. And it's not being afraid of the light. It's being going towards the light, because what does light give off? Warmth. It's like a fire.
I do want to make a comment here for our listeners. It will feel uncomfortable. If it doesn't feel right, it's working.
Mm-hmm.
Our reptilian brain, which is responsible for all our survival ways of being, has one job: to keep you safe. How is it keeping you safe? Keeping you doing the same things over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
If you were in the same environment with the same thoughts, drinking the same things, eating the same things, having the same reactions, your reptilian brain is very happy, because it's fitting the mode of safety net and everything is predictable and you're fine. You don't need to try to control anything because you are in this Groundhog Day, and then you say you hate your grain. And I'm not saying you, y'all. I'm saying all of us from time to time. But I really felt the intuitive hit to say that, because as you shift into possibility of more light, of gratitude, of love, of new encounters and new business ideas and new wardrobe, and finding your zest, like expand this yumminess that God created as a masterpiece, because he calls you a masterpiece, it will feel freaking uncomfortable. So don't tell me or Steve that you really want a different life, that you really want to change and experience more, all the yummy things and love, joy, peace. But if you're not willing to get uncomfortable, in leadership, we call that the stretch zone. What happens when you do 20 push-ups and you have only done 2 your entire life? It will hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day you're going to say, but I don't want to do it because I'm still sore from yesterday. And I'm going to say, if you keep doing sore, by the 5th day, your body's starting to get used to it. There's more oxygen pumping.
From a
military, becomes your new normal. Yes,
from a military aspect, you know, I had to prep before I went into basic training, because they said, we want you to prep before you get into basic training so you don't fail the PT test. Correct. Well, for the Army, we had to do push-ups, sit-ups, and in a 2-mile run. And so when I think about, if you feel like doing push-ups is hurtful, find you a support system.
Right.
That's what the military was for me, was a support system. I remember, Kenya, it was in my mind that at Fort Hood, when we would run a 2-mile run, we would run on a stretch of mile road up by the railroad area, where we would load our Humvees and our equipment to ship off to wherever we're going. There's a stretch of mile road. And I'm focusing on the end where this huge light pole was. And I knew that was the end. But my mind was saying, it's going to be a long run.
Mm.
Okay. So they're prepping me to run for leadership class that I had to take and got to pass PT. Great in push-ups, great in sit-ups. Okay, great. It was the running that was getting to me, that was making me uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's so much so that when I was running, I was losing my stride as I
Mm.
was running. So here's this analogy. If you feel like you are stuck, find a cheerleader. And that's what I had. One of the guys that was a good runner kept the pace for me. Instead
Oh,
of me
so good.
focusing
Yes.
on the light pole, I focused on
The
him,
pace. There we go.
listening to his
Mm.
words. Push it. You got this. You got this. I believe in you.
Mm.
Oftentimes, for us to be able to shift is to get
Yes.
out of the darkness of quietness,
There we go.
find a pacer that's going to help you to get there. And Kenya, I mean, you've
I'm
been
the
great
pacer.
as you're my pacer
I'm
sometimes,
the
and I'm your
pacer.
pacer.
I'm the pacer. And you know what? Thank you for putting a name on this. Cheerleader, pacer, support system, buddy, and every leadership group that I have ever done, we had a buddy. The buddy is as important as the leader, as the container holder.
Oh,
You
for
have a buddy.
sure.
Because the buddy's like, okay, have you done the thing? What are you at right now? And sometimes I would do the thing just because my buddy would be there and I didn't want to let her down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So as we give the gift to each other of being each other's pacer, accountable, brothers and sisters, I can hear some people saying, I have no one. You don't understand. And I'm
Or
going to
I don't want
challenge
to be
you.
a burden.
Ah, and I'm going to challenge y'all to step up in worthiness.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that I know that I know because I was there. I'm telling you, not just because of all the training I have done, but because the life I have lived. I didn't want to be a burden, you nail in the head. I had so many stories of, I'm so totally okay being the support system, but I just don't want to bother you. I just don't want to, I didn't want, the truth is I didn't want anybody to see how down I was. I wanted somebody to see me when I was clean and beautiful and with my earrings and lipstick. I wanted to feel and see and portray that I had my shiatsu together. Okay. In reality, when I was able to be vulnerable with all my colors and say, yes, this is a version of me.
Right.
And I'm also a hot mess crying in the closet. And I'm also homeschooling my 3 kids. And I also have this big dream of being singing and having all my books around the world. And because that is a legacy that I feel like God had planted in my heart. And I can go on and on and on. And I'm fully fulfilled in this moment. Take a breath with me. Because all those dreams that I just shared, Steve and dear listeners, it's not when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I see it as a promise that it is already done. I didn't ask for those visions. Those visions came to me. I want to double, triple dog dare you, dear listener, listeners with an S, hundreds and thousands of you, because I hear in my soul you're there. There is a promise that God has put in your heart. And if this is not the season to step into believe in the promise and your worthiness and your light, when is it? When is it? And I'm not talking this is the season because it's Thanksgiving and it's close to the end of the year. It's because the next season will feel like this season. You're freaking procrastinating your season. Your season is when you say it's your season. And I'll tell you right now, it is my season. It is my season. And it is your season if you say so. And our seasons will look completely different or not.
Right.
Because we're entangled by choice. If you're listening to Steve and I, there's something that is resonating to you that is like, yes, tell me more. I'm going to tell you more. There's nothing missing. You get to believe that you're worthy to take the space. You get to believe that the sun is shining on you just like it's shining on me, on us. And this is your time.
It's about shifting the focus. And I know when it's like when you get down and out, and I'm telling you, when I get hit, I was hit hard, so much so that people are like, we don't know how you're doing this. And I do. It's by the grace of God that gave me the strength
100%.
when I was weak, that lifted my soul up for him to keep. It's some people say, well, Steve, you're believing in a fairy tale. Well, you know what? If my fairy tale helps me to be able to be thankful, to live a life that is thankful and blessed, and my life is flourishing,
100%.
and I'm believing in something that is helping me to be where I need to be.
Listen, you call that fairy tale or you call that faith.
Right.
Here's what we can all agree across all time and space, across all religions, across all cultures, across all scientists. We all can agree that there is a divine intelligence, that there is a bigger consciousness that created us all. And I call that God. I know you do too.
Mm-hmm.
And he lives in me, and he's orchestrating the skies and the universe and the multiverse, and you can call it whatever you want. Here's what I know. You and I are not alone. I am not alone.
Right.
Divine synchronicities gives me a clue. If you're listening to right now, this is your sign. This is your sign. And I tell you more, don't wait for another sign. Be the sign for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Be the sign. In a frequency level, me drinking water and someone drinking champagne is drinking. There's no little and big. There is the matching of your vision into reality because you say so right now. So I tell you what, there is no abundance if there's not a grateful heart. Everybody will raise their hand who wants more money, who wants more health, who wants more love. There's none of that if it's not cultivated into a grateful container. So, dear listeners, we get to be grateful. And yes, you are a choice, but then you're also choosing to not have those fruits over here. So stop saying that you want the fruits if you're not living to clean up the container, and allow gratitude for what is in this moment.
And bottom line,
cleanse your soul.
To close this out,
yes,
is to think about, what are you doing in the moment? I mean, Kenya, when you're separated or divorced from a family and you have these holidays that pop up
yes.
without your children, it can be feeling lonely.
Yes.
But if you shift that focus to where I've had a friend's Thanksgiving before,
yes.
had people over and enjoy that other people who were single coming together to be thankful. That's what this month is about, is being thankful. And so until next time, we thank you for listening to us. Until next time, God bless and take care.
Love you so much.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Coach Soul, where we aim to empower and uplift you on your journey toward personal growth and well-being to become a better you. Remember, as you navigate through life, you don't have to do it alone. We encourage you to reach out to professionals, seek support from loved ones, and prioritize your own well-being. Stay tuned for future episodes with Steve Hudgens, filled with valuable insights and actionable tips. You have the power to thrive, and with Coach Soul by your side, anything is possible. Until next time, take care, stay empowered, and keep shining your brightest light. For more information, contact Coach at coachedsoul.com.